Hey guys, Saiyan Prince here. 2020 has been a tough year for everyone. People are out of jobs, companies are shutting down, but the games industry in specific is booming. Later this month, Xbox is putting on a showcase, an event that is expected to be chock full of new games. These events are all about delivering hype, and this hype usually takes the form of trailers, a combination of cinematics and gameplay that will entice gamers with the promise that they will deliver something extraordinary and unique. And while some trailers have delivered on this promise, many have failed. It takes a truly special one to stand out from the crowd, so today I decided to take a look back at some of the all-time greats. Here is my pick for the top 10 game trailers of all time.
Catch a deep breath. It'll be the last fresh air you'll get for a while.
I'm sure in a galaxy far, far away, Star Wars 1313 ended up hitting store shelves and turned out to be one of the greatest games in the series. Unfortunately, in this galaxy, we were only given a quick snippet of the game before it got cancelled. Barely hitting the 90-second mark, the trailer highlights planets and cities beaming with life, and we're introduced to new characters who find themselves jumping out of a cruiser during its descent from space, whilst battling droids and stormtroopers. It's everything a Star Wars fan would want, but we never got. Car sims and races are usually shown off with any new hardware reveal, and the PlayStation 2's horsepower was put to the test with the reveal of Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. Leaps and bounds beyond anything else we had seen from a racing sim, Gran Turismo 3 boasted incredible graphics. If you don't believe me, here take a look at GT2 on the PlayStation 1 and GT3 on the PlayStation 2. It's a night and day difference. In addition to the stunning visuals, the trailer gave us a sneak peek at the increased car selection, racetracks, events and the addition of a rally mode. The only thing left to do was to strap in and put pedal to the metal.
Believing your people were safe and protected.
If it wasn't clear to you already, I'm a Star Wars guy, and the trailer for the Old Republic blew me away. Here we see the dark side push the front lines and take the battle to the Jedi Temple. It's all out war and the Jedi and Sith go at it. We get glimpses of Star Cruisers, droids, Mandalorians, Jedi both young and old, and so many Sith Lords. It's insane. As we reach its climax, we see the Jedi fall and the dark side prevail. The Republic is over and the invasion has begun. For any Star Wars fan, it was pure ecstasy. And to top it all off, this stunning trailer is accompanied by John Williams' score. Wow. Drifting away from exotic supercars, Need for Speed Underground set a new tone for the series. The trailer places a huge emphasis on car modification as we see the eventual transformation of a stock Toyota Supra. Performance upgrades come in the form of a new turbocharger, we see enhanced braking systems, computer chip tuning and of course, nitrous oxide boosts. But then we have our visual upgrades, new body kits, replacement hoods, neons, headlights, taillights and window tinting. The trailer finally reaches its climax when we see two racers go head to head on the streets amongst a barrage of traffic. It was fast and it was furious. Cinematic trailers have been a staple of the Assassin's Creed series, but few match the quality of this. Following an aged Ezio on his final adventure, we see him travelling the world in search of the truth. Of course, there is no assassins without Templars, and Ezio comes face to face with an army of them. With no fear or hesitation, Ezio begins to mow them down one by one. But wait, we begin to see glimpses of a man in shining white robes. Yes, Altair has finally returned, and bravo to the individual at Ubisoft who matched these visuals with Woodkid's iron. Do I even need to explain why this is one of the greatest game trailers of all time? Mario 64 holds a special place in my heart, and I wish I could go back in time and record my reaction the first time I saw the trailer for Mario Odyssey. It would have looked something like this.
Is this Mario?
Please be Mario. Wait a minute. Dixie Street. Donkey Kong?
Diddy something. Fire. Diddy's Mart.
Balls.
Oh
It's
my
Mario.
goodness.
Oh, yes! Oh my god! Oh, it's a dream come true!
Mario Theft Auto. Let's do it. Let's
Oh
do
my
it.
god! Oh my god! Real
Seriously, just seeing Mario grace my screen in full HD was enough to get me off my seat. But then coupling that with Mario in a city with real people, and then showing us the vast number of activities and colourful worlds we'll be visiting on our adventure made me pre-order a Switch there and then. After all these many years, Mario still has it. He brings out the child in me, and I couldn't wait to step into the world of Odyssey. In 2011, Modern Warfare 3 was revealed, and by that point the franchise had become stale. There was very little done in terms of innovation, and it just felt like a recycled version of the previous year's game. Fortunately, Battlefield 3 arrived to fill that void, and the multiplayer trailer had it all. It was the sheer scale of the game that really hit home for me. The trailer was littered with new weapons and gadgets, and featured our first look at new maps. We saw multiple settings, including our first look at urban environments. We saw players skydiving off helipads with their teammates. We saw tanks, boats and helicopters in tunnels. It was like something out of a Mission Impossible movie. The soundtrack was epic, and visually speaking, it was by far the best looking first person shooter to date. If only EA could have held on to that momentum with Battlefield 4 and 5. The Halo 3 trailer is incredible for many reasons. Firstly, it's one of the best looking visual cinematics I've ever seen. Even in 2020, very few cinematics come close to this level of visual fidelity. Then there's the overall tone of the trailer. We see Chief's helmet laying on the ground with dirt and debris all over, and in the background, we can hear the concern in Cortana's voice as she calls out to John, who's non-responsive. Chief's always been a man of few words, and throughout this entire trailer, he only utters two, but they're incredibly powerful. It's all doom and gloom for our heroic character until we see him rise up and pick his helmet. Waking up in the midst of battle, Chief responds,
I think we lost him.
Not yet.
What I take away from this is that Chief is acknowledging his humanity. Even as this super Spartan with insane armor and weaponry, he's still human, and eventually he's accepted that he'll die. And still, in the face of imminent death, he rushes the enemy and plunges himself back into the battle, perfectly encapsulating the Spartan courage we've come to know and love.
All around me are familiar faces.
Microsoft were paving the way for cinematic trailers during the 360 era. In fact, I'm pretty certain this trailer played in the cinemas right before my showing of Superman Returns, and I was completely floored. The song definitely goes a long way with the trailer, but the juxtaposition between Gary Jules' gorgeous vocals and the on-screen action is pure bliss. It's dark, eerie, sad and frightening, and I still get goosebumps seeing the orange glow from the corpse's eyes and Marcus Phoenix just lighting up the room with his Lancer. Being a PlayStation fanboy all my life, Gears of War finally convinced me that the Xbox 360 was a force to be reckoned with.
Run in circles, it's a very, very mad
I stare at the stars and the sky up above and think, what am I made of?
Every now and then we get a taste of cinema in the world of games, and make no mistake about it, Hideo Kojima is the king of cinematic trailers. and the Metal Gear Solid 2 showpiece we witnessed way back at 2001's Tokyo Game Show has yet to be matched. At the time, nothing, and I mean nothing, could match the visuals we were seeing on screen. Everyone, including myself, was convinced this was the pinnacle, the peak of computer graphics. And it wasn't just the visuals, it's the insane level of detail that's gone into the world, the environments and the weather effects. NPCs were modelled off actual soldiers, and this is one of the first games to utilise motion capture for its characters. You have to remember, some of these things we had never seen in Hollywood, let alone in games. In addition to its gorgeous visuals, Hideo gave us a slice of the game's story. We see the return of fan favourites including Otacon, but we also got a glimpse at the new villains. And wait a minute, is that the ninja? The trailer just kept giving and giving and giving. My favourite moment of the trailer has to be Snake racing after the Metal Gear and plunging himself with it into the depths of the sea. And I'd be remiss not to mention the audio sensation that is Harry Gregson Williams' soundtrack.
Play it again! Play it again!
And if that wasn't enough, Hideo gave us one final surprise.
There's room for only one Snake and one big boss.
Liquid Snake lives. Rise, Mr. Kojima, and take a bow. This is your masterpiece. Alright guys, that's my pick for the best game trailers of all time. Did I miss any? And if I did, comment down below and let me know what your favourite game trailers are. As always, if you like this content and you want to see more, then hit the like button and subscribe. This is Saiyan Prince, and I'll catch you on the next video.